Want to save $10,000 in just 1 year? Sounds impossible, right? But let me tell you something. It's not. In fact, people just like you, with average incomes and everyday expenses, are doing it all the time. The difference isn't luck or winning the lottery. It's having a solid plan, being intentional, and sticking with it even when it gets tough. Whether you're trying to build an emergency fund, pay off debt, or finally take that dream vacation, saving $10,000 in 12 months can be your reality. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a practical, step-by-step savings plan that works, even if you don't earn a six-figure income or already have tons of money stashed away. Ready to start? Let's dive in. Step 1. Break it down. The first step is to break the goal down into bite-sized chunks. Because when we hear save $10,000, most of us think of a big, intimidating number. But when we divide it into smaller parts, it becomes a lot more manageable. Let's do the math together. $10,000 a year equals about $833 per month. Still seems a little steep? Break it down again. That's roughly $192 per week, or just about $28 per day. Suddenly, it doesn't sound so scary, and here's why this mindset shift is important. When you break down large goals into smaller daily or weekly targets, your brain starts to see them as achievable. You're no longer thinking, I need to find 10 grand somewhere. You're thinking, how can I save $28 today? That's a game changer. Now that we've broken the goal into manageable parts, you can start thinking about your daily routines and where those savings can come from. Maybe it's skipping the takeout lunch. Maybe it's canceling a subscription you're not really using. Once you start identifying those small daily changes, saving becomes part of your lifestyle rather than something extra you have to work toward. Step 2. Slash the big three expenses. If you really want to make a dent in your savings, you need to focus on the three biggest spending categories in your life: housing, transportation, and food. These three typically make up more than 50% of a person's monthly budget, and they're also the areas where most people overspend without realizing it. Let's talk housing first. Can you move to a slightly cheaper place? Could you get a roommate to cut the rent in half? Even saving $200 or $300 a month in housing costs gets you well on your way toward your monthly goal. If moving isn't an option, what about negotiating your rent or reassessing unnecessary expenses like luxury cable packages or excessive utilities? Next, transportation. Are you driving a car that's costing you hundreds in monthly payments, gas and maintenance? Could you switch to public transport, rideshare, or carpool with a coworker? Maybe even bike a few days a week. It all adds up. Transportation is a sneaky budget killer because it feels like a necessity. But there are almost always ways to spend less on getting around. Then there's food, one of the biggest money drains. Eating out is convenient, yes, but it's also expensive. If you're eating out 5 times a week at $15 a meal, that's $75 per week, $300 a month. Imagine if you meal prepped lunches and made dinner at home 4 nights a week instead. You'd cut that number in half or more. Get into the habit of planning your meals for the week and sticking to a grocery list. It not only saves money, it also saves time and reduces stress. Win-win. When you focus on trimming just these 3 categories, you're not cutting out joy or depriving yourself. You're making smart decisions about your biggest spending areas. The savings can be dramatic. Step 3. Automate your savings. One of the most effective ways to save money consistently is to automate it. The less you have to think about saving, the better. We are all creatures of habit, and the more we can remove willpower from the equation, the more successful we'll be. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a separate savings account, ideally one that's not too easy to access. High-yield savings accounts from online banks like Ally, Chime, Capital One 360, or even your own bank usually let you schedule recurring transfers. Set it to move $28 a day or $200 a week, whatever works for your pay schedule. You could even sync it with your payday so money moves out the moment it comes in. That way, it's like you never had it to begin with. The beauty of automation is that it turns saving into a background process. You won't be tempted to skip a week. You won't accidentally spend the money on something else. Over time, those automatic transfers build momentum, and suddenly your savings account starts looking very healthy. Out of sight, out of mind. And in the meantime, your $10,000 goal gets closer with every passing day. Step 4. Add extra income. Now let's talk about the other side of the equation, making more money. Because sometimes cutting costs only gets you so far. If you're already living lean, boosting your income can fast-track your goal. Start with what's already around you. Got unused stuff sitting in your closet, garage, or kitchen? Sell it. Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, and eBay are all great for turning clutter into cash. Most of us are sitting on hundreds of dollars worth of things we never use. Next, side gigs. You don't have to take on a second job. You just need to find small, consistent ways to earn extra money. Deliver food for a few hours a week with Uber Eats, DoorDash, or Instacart. Take surveys on sites like Swagbucks or Inbox Dollars while watching TV. If you've got a talent, writing, graphic design, tutoring, editing, or even organizing, consider freelancing on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. Let's say you do food delivery just 5 hours a week and make $20 an hour. That's $100 per week or $400 per month. That alone puts you halfway to your monthly savings goal. Combine that with your spending cuts and automation, and you're now building savings faster than ever. The trick is not to spend this extra income. Treat it as untouchable and route it straight to your savings account. Step 5. Track every dollar. This step might sound boring, but it's absolutely critical. Track every dollar. Because what gets measured gets managed. If you don't know where your money is going, you'll never be in full control of it. Tracking helps you identify leaks, those small expenses that drain your wallet without adding much value to your life. Use budgeting apps like EveryDollar, Mint, or YNAB. You need a budget. These tools let you categorize spending, set savings goals, and monitor progress all in one place. You don't have to track every penny forever, but even 30 to 60 days of tracking will give you powerful insights. You might realize you're spending $200 a month on snacks and coffee, or $150 on random Amazon buys. Once you see the numbers, they're hard to ignore, and that's a good thing. You'll also start noticing patterns. Maybe you spend more impulsively when you're stressed, or on weekends. Awareness leads to change. Once you see where your money is going, you can start choosing differently. Budgeting doesn't have to be restrictive. It's not about saying no to everything. It's about saying yes to what matters most. When you create a plan for your money, you tell it where to go instead of wondering where it went. Bonus tip, make it visual. Here's a fun, motivational tip. Track your progress visually. Create a savings thermometer or a simple coloring chart where each $100 or $500 you save fills in a portion of the chart. Hang it on your wall or keep it in your planner. It may sound simple, but watching your savings grow visually can be extremely satisfying and motivating. You can also use spreadsheets or goal tracking apps like Habitica or Tiller to see your numbers rise. Celebrate small milestones. Every $1,000 saved is a huge win. Maybe treat yourself to a small reward every time you hit a new savings tier. This helps you stay excited and keeps the momentum going throughout the year. Saving $10,000 in 1 year isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about making small, smart decisions day after day and not giving up when things get tough. Maybe you won't hit the goal exactly. Maybe you'll hit $8,000 or $7,500. That's still an amazing achievement. The point is, you'll be building habits that serve you for the rest of your life. You'll learn to spend with intention, save automatically, and make your money work for your goals, not the other way around. So let me ask you, what step are you going to take today? Are you going to review your expenses? Automate your savings? Pick up a side hustle? Whatever it is, take action, because your future self is already cheering you on. If this video helped you feel more motivated or gave you a fresh perspective, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I share practical, real-world money tips every single week to help you build the life you want, one smart decision at a time. Thanks for watching, and remember, saving $10,000 starts with saving your first $10. You've got this.